Thank you, Maestro Bernard, and for all of you. There's a very small number of people in New York City who believe in arts education and its importance, and you all make up a big chunk of it. So I really want to say thank you for the support you've given to this extraordinary organization, the New York Youth Symphony, and its incredible musicians. What a great response. I've seen the entire arc of these musicians' lives. My son Ian began Suzuki violin when he was 4, as I did when I was 4. In fact, one of my 4-year-old classmates is sitting right at our table right over there. And we all have the same experience. The people that you see around you are going to be part of your lives for your entire life. With my son, that first day when he took out his first violin was Joseph Morak. I remember that first day when Joseph played his first note on the violin, and Ian, my son, was in the viola section, he was in the conducting program, and the chamber music program. So I hosted many beautiful readings of Schubert and Brahms at my home, and heard about the great conducting program as well as the extraordinary quality and intensity that this orchestra has. I think I represent, I should be talking to you. You're the most important people, sort of the next generation of musicians. I represent a path that some of you may not choose. Many of you are going to be professional musicians, but I wasn't quite at that level, and I decided I was going to be a neuroscientist. But I knew how music had changed my life and probably changed my brain. So I actually studied that. I decided to figure out whether there's something different about the brains of musicians, of trained musicians versus non-musicians. And I think we all know just how important music education is in making brains better, and it's why it's so important for underserved kids, for kids that wouldn't have the opportunity, and for everyone to have music education. It's probably the most important thing, more than any subject, that you can teach a child. Because it's the only thing that can make brains smarter and better. And not just at music, but at math and reading and at taking tasks from small pieces into extraordinary, complex, and beautiful results. So music education to me has been a focus of, I think it's the most important thing that I can do with my life. The other thing I'd like to say to you guys is you individually can make an enormous change. David Bernard one day said, wouldn't it be great if instead of just getting together and reading chamber music, we could read a symphony, and maybe one day we can play in Carnegie Hall. And 12 years later, with non-professionals, he did it and played many times thereafter at Carnegie Hall. When City Opera went under, I was the last person out of the room, and I said, maybe I can help. Maybe I can be the one to bring it back. And 2 years later, that's going to happen now too. Anne Fitzgibbon over there, who runs the Harmony program, had a vision. She went to Venezuela on a Fulbright and saw Elsie Stanmont, what music education on a national level can do, and said, that should be here in New York. Maybe I can make that happen. And now, 8 years later, there are hundreds of kids in communities that would never have access to daily 2 hours a day music education. Now they're all playing instruments, and today, this year, we had our first kid audition for the New York Youth Symphony. So, it all ties together. So if I have one little piece of advice that I can give you after 50 years of being in music or so, it's that whatever you want to do in music, you can make it happen yourself. If you want to get that chamber group together, you can make it happen. You can get 7 other people to read the Mendelssohn Octet. You can create an orchestra if you want to conduct. You can create a philanthropy if you want to give something to the world in arts or anything. And all it takes is the inspiration, the creativity, and the persistence that any one of you can do. I wish you all lives of the joy that music can give, as you know already, for your whole lives, whether it takes a path of just that was the time when you played music and now you don't, whether it's like me, that you're an amateur and do it as much as you possibly can, but no one would ever pay you to do it, or whether you become soloists like our next honoree, extraordinary superstars, orchestral players, chamber players. I wish you the joy that I've had for the rest of your lives, and I think so many people in this room share. So bravi to the New York Youth Symphony for giving the highest quality education and opportunity for performance, for learning. These are the superstars of tomorrow, so let's give them a round. I feel very honored to be here. Thank you to Melissa, to the Garfields, and to all of you for supporting this very, very important organization.